Dionisio at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Swakowski, the big right-hander, lets it go. It's right down Broadway. Dionisio lets it fly, and it's raining now.
It's time for Rain Delay Theater with Jeremy Dionisio and Jack Swakowski.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rain Delay Theater, the podcast where two bums talk about other bums at baseball games. I'm Jack Swakowski.
And I'm Jeremy Dionisio.
And we are back with another game for you to report on. This one is going to be Royals versus White Sox. We went to this game on Wednesday night, May 13th, over at Guaranteed Rate Field, or I guess as the Cubs fans were calling it, and even some frustrated White Sox fans over the weekend, the Crosstown Guaranteed Late Field, or Guaranteed Wait Field, whatever you prefer, just because of the long lines to get in the stadium because of that dumb security. But yeah, we're here to bring you the action from last week. Royals, White Sox, but you know, let's talk a little bit about the Crosstown series over the weekend as well, because it just happened, even though we didn't attend those games.
Yeah, we were we were at the prelude to that, and I feel like this game, this Royal series kind of gave the White Sox a lot of momentum going into the Crosstown series, and they took 2 of 3 from the Sox, of course, and Jack, I don't know. So yeah, the talk of the town is the PCA, and the Sun-Times called her the Woman in White. I'm not even sure. I feel like that's too dignified of a title for that person. But yeah, Jack, have you been following the details of that story?
Sure. So I guess she was it her bachelorette party, or was she like celebrating her engagement or something like that?
Yeah, an engagement party or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, you know, that's how you're going to carry yourself when you're celebrating your engagement, is you're going to get into a guy's face and yell at him as loud as you can. That seems crazy to me. Although I'm sure there's some White Sox fans who'd be really turned on by that.
Jack, not only did they do that, but she's quoted in the Sun-Times as saying that that's what their goal was for getting those seats, like to heckle Pete Crow Armstrong.
That's crazy, man. That's like Anthony Capobianco at the Yankees game saying he's like, yeah, we're going to D up right now. That's what he said. You know, this is our section. That's wild. Yeah,
they were like, you know, we're going to sit out there. We'll definitely like run in a PCA. We can heckle him during the game.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, I guess it's slightly different, but it's like there's these people who go to like comedy shows and they're like, oh yeah, let's go to a comedy show and heckle the comedian. It's like,
yep.
What the hell is wrong with you? Jack, are you a Seinfeld guy? Like, do you watch Seinfeld?
Yeah, I mean, I not in a very long time, but yes, you know, I'm familiar with. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the episode where Kramer's girlfriend heckles Jerry at a comedy show, and then he's talking to the comedians, or like then he goes to her work and heckles her. And then later he's talking to the comedians. They're like, "Hey, I heard what you did. You went to her work and you heckled her. Like, great job or whatever." And it's like, okay, so like let's find. This is bad because I don't want to call out like the a mob on this woman, but it's like, hey, maybe someone might go to her wedding and heckle her during their wedding. You know, I don't know. Just a thought.
It'd be great if PCA showed up. Actually, that would be an all-timer.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know, we're very pro players over fans on this podcast, and it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what. It's still kind of too soon to really catch the full fallout of all this, but like, I don't know if there's grounds for suspending or fining him for that or anything, but like, I don't know.
You know, I feel like now that she's been quoted as saying her goal was to heckle him, maybe they could grant him a little bit of leniency. I think did they suspend Jarren Duran? They did, but he didn't. Pete Crow Armstrong didn't yell a slur, although he did yell something pretty interesting. You know, I guess if that's to be believed. You've read what he was alleged to have yelled, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
misogynist at the very least, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
So, I think that everybody, at least from what I've been reading online, like the fan opinion is that people are ready to just kind of move on from it all. I think that's probably the best move. It would be silly to suspend him. It adds a little bit of juice to the rivalry, and I think the Dodgers fans also they've kind of got it out for Pete Crow at this point. So I think everybody should just live and let live.
Yeah, that seems like the best case, and those people can have a happy marriage, I guess. whenever. I think it said the wedding is October 2027 or something. So
Okay.
This person has already had way more press about themselves than they could possibly ever deserve.
Yes.
Like a whole Sun Times article about them. Like, why do I know when this person's wedding is? Like, so yeah. So that's that. But yeah, it was. It's in the zeitgeist right now as of this recording. So figured it was relevant to bring up at this point. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, let's get to the Sox Royals game, Jeremy. So I got there a little bit before you did, and funnily enough, when I got there, I saw Chris in line, and I didn't even know they were going to that game. Did you know Chris was going to that game?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so that was an interesting coincidence. So also in line in the very first spot where we always see him was Dennis. So I just, I gave a wave to Dennis, and he barely nodded at me. He seemed pissed off, which is how Dennis always is when there's a lot of people around, and there were a lot of people around. It had rained the day before, so the game was played, but there was no batting practice, I guess. So there were a lot of graphers already lined up. I mean, there was me, there was Chris, there was Dennis, there was another guy that he was talking to. There was a guy in the Lithuanian jacket was there, who we'll get to in a while. Like these 2 or 3 other guys who were always graphers and always there, one of whom got James Wood the previous time we went to rate. So yeah, there were already a lot of bodies in the area before you even showed up, Jeremy. So when you got there, I think Chris's dad and the rest of his family had already arrived. Chris's dad mentioned that Dennis wasn't happy to see him, but that's just how Dennis is, man. You got to talk to Dennis after graphing is over. He's never going to be happy to see you at rate field before graphing.
No, and especially, I guess we kind of talked about it in person, but like, this is truly like Dennis's turf.
Yep.
When he goes to Wrigley, he is like, seems like routinely like kind of lost and kind of out of his element and like unsure of what to do. But this is definitely his turf, and like now I can't even imagine getting to a Sox game to graph and him not being there. Like I don't know if he goes to literally every game, but like it almost seems like if somehow I were to beat him down there, like, or any of us would beat him down there, we'd have to like give him that spot out of like reverence, to the position. So yeah. So anyway, it's just funny that.
I also suspect that he's not such a red ass at Wrigley, and he'll actually like call you over to get in line with him because there's just more space there. Like at Wrigley, you have the outfield, you have the area by the dugout and the tarps and stuff. But at Rate Field, there's really only one game in town, right? There's only one area you can really go to get autographs, and within that area, there's only about room for 4 or 5 grown men, maybe. So that I guess it stands to reason that he's also just crankier at Rate Field. But regardless, he was there, and so there was a little bit of a wait to get in line. But finally, we all got up there, and Dennis did not get the catbird seat, Jeremy. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, that's right. This other guy did, and we don't know his name or anything.
No.
But he was at those other game, the Nationals game,
Yep.
I think. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't remember ever clocking him like in previous seasons.
Me
and we've seen
neither.
him a couple times this year. Yeah, so I don't know if he's like new on the scene or whatever. But
No.
yeah, he if Dennis is 1, he's like 1A because he's getting like the big names too. So yeah,
He has. Yeah. And then there was this guy. So it was was it a Team Lithuania jacket, or was it just like a Lithuanian flag jacket?
Jack, I wanted to ask you about that because I saw that in the in the notes. Jack, I thought it was a Venezuela jacket. Are you 100% sure?
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm trying to. Maybe it was Venezuela. Let me look up Lithuanian jacket here.
Yeah, because I thought it was Venezuela because
Could be.
Sal Perez is Venezuelan.
Okay, so you're probably right, Jeremy.
Okay, yeah. I don't because did Chris say it was a Lithuanian jacket? Because thought maybe I heard him say that or something. But I was like,
it's possible. I couldn't. I didn't make out the flag that was on it though. It was definitely like it was a red. What would you call that color? It wasn't red, but it wasn't purple either.
It was like maroon. It was like
it was maroon.
Like brick red,
Yep.
brick red.
But
So regardless, I don't think this guy is Lithuanian or Venezuelan. He's definitely not Venezuelan. Yeah, and I don't know if he's got a message from the Ukrainian baseball team for anybody on the Royals, but he was there, and we deemed that this was the guy who blocked me on Wyatt Langford for his autograph. And so his move, I think we talked about this on the podcast, but I was there solo at this game, and I was trying to get Wyatt Langford his I guess maybe it was his second year. And I had a card out, I had my book out, and this guy came up behind me and just put his friggin' like pterodactyl arm over my book, directly over my card, and then he got Langford and I didn't, and then he was just like in and out. And I think back to that. I want to have a PCA woman in white moment with that guy still. And so I told you about it, and I think from Graffer's Code, and just we're friends, and I think you're kind of like, you kind of set your sights on him. He's in both of our sights, I think, at this point. So we were kind of like discussing if it comes down to it, we're gonna return the favor on this guy. Yeah,
and we definitely tried to. When I got Starling Marte, we can talk about that in a minute. I reached over him a little bit for Marte, because it's one of those things, Jeremy. He did it to you, but he would do it to me too if he had the chance. That's just his MO. And I will say I accidentally got blue Sharpie on that guy's jacket, so that was a thing. So he was there. Bobby Witt came over and did sign a few autographs. He signed for the kid we were talking about that got James Wood, whose name we don't know. He signed for maybe one other guy, and we suspect, we're almost 99% sure, he signed for Dennis.
Yeah, the way that went down was Chris's dad, who was kind of further back a little bit, said to Dennis, hey, did you get Witt? And Dennis is in the shit, and still in this moment. He turns around and he goes no, I didn't get him. And then it kind of then there was the rustle kind of died down, and he goes yeah, I got him. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So I don't know why he's playing coy. It's it's not like he's humble about his graphing success necessarily.
No, he's not. And you know what, though? The same thing, exact same scenario played out last year. Bobby Witt came over and signed for 2 or 3 people, and Dennis was one of them. So that's just it's just the advantage to getting the space that he does. He didn't have the catbird seat, but he still had a pretty damn good spot. It just goes along with getting that spot. So, Dennis has gotten him at least twice. I've never gotten him. Jeremy, you've never gotten him, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So there you go. But maybe it'd be better to have a moment with Witt too, just so you could be hey, I saw you hit a home run in that Under Armour game. He'd probably like that. There's no chance to do that at Sox. So maybe some other time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know. He's such a good signer. It seems like we might get our shot at some point with him. So we'll see on that one. The successes we did have, Isaac Collins, I think, was the first one to kind of sign for everybody.
He was really nice. He signed for everybody. You got him last year, I think, Jeremy. I'd never gotten him, so that was a good one to knock off. I didn't have a card for him last year, but he's got a flagship now, or maybe it was an update. But, yeah, it was good to get him.
Yeah, I kind of hung back a little bit just because it is such a fracas, to get into that, to get in there to try to get an autograph, that I was do I really want Isaac Collins that bad? Having already had him. There was a couple guys I passed on for the Nationals because I didn't want to put myself through that shit more than I had to. No. So I hung back. You were able to get him, which was cool. And then he persisted and signed for everyone. So I finally got in there and got him. I really had to friggin' spoon Dennis to get in there. It's really not my not at the top of my list.
No.
But I was all over Dennis, man. I feel like intimately familiar with him now at this point. But yeah.
It's a massive humanity, Jeremy. It's just a bunch of torsos and arms and legs trying to stick their cards out to like get a guy to sign an autograph. Like you said, it's not an unpleasant experience. And if you've already gotten a guy, you're more than happy to just hang back and let other people do that. So yeah, definitely more stressful. I got Michael Massey too. Did you get Massey?
I did. Yes, I got.
Okay.
I think we might have got all the same guys.
Yeah, we did, and then I also got Starling Marte, as you did as well. He was actually running with somebody's marker when I got him, so I came out pretty fortunate. Mine does look good. It could have gone either way, but he was a good one to knock off because I'd gotten him on a scorecard right when I started first kind of hanging around the autograph scene, and I had to kind of make up for that, and I did, and it's good to get him because I don't think he's gonna last too much longer.
Yeah, I know. This was maybe one of the last shots we might have at him. And he is like a good signer.
Yes.
Just reputation speaking. I was like, I remember that you got him. I didn't know that you only got him on a scorecard though. So yeah, it was good that we both knocked him out. My Massey, this is to speak to the fracas that is graphing down there, but both my Massey and my Marte got smeared. And so that was I will say this, it was a frustrating night for me personally. Because I was like so ready for, like, I think my semester of teaching just ended, so I was like kind of like, it was my first game to go to. I was first chance to graph, like having been done with all that, so I was like super excited and got all my cards ready. And then when you guys told me that the graphers were all out, I'm like that sucks. But I still wasn't like deterred per se, but I should have been because it was a factor. But I was. So I'll talk about all the other stuff later. But ultimately speaking, I was like, you know what? I'm happy that I got those guys, smear or not. Massey also seems like he might be a good signer, so might have another shot at him. Marte, like. It was funny. The Massey one got smeared the same way that the Fairbanks one got smeared last year, which is like, I was like kind of getting ready to take the card back, and I kind of had my hand open, and he like shoved it. He like gave it one little extra shove, as I was putting my thumb down, and it put my thumb right into the fucking card, and I knew that it got smeared as soon as that happened. And then I looked, and I was like, damn it, it got smeared. Then the Marte one was weird. I think it was. I don't honestly. I'm not convinced now that I smeared it. I'm wondering if maybe he did, because like it was on a heritage card, and those are like old school cardboard, and they dry very quickly. So it's kind of hard to smear one of those.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if he did it or not. But it neither one is egregious. So they're fine for my collection.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. My Key Bryan was the one that originally got smeared. That was Heritage too. It was the only time I've ever had it happen. So yeah, frustrating for sure, man. But I think those may. I don't want to say they pale in comparison, but this next one was really bad. It was shades of the Bo Bichette incident from earlier this year. So yeah, Jack Caglione came over to sign, and he just kind of started going at it, and it seemed like you were going to get him, and then somehow you didn't.
Yeah, and it was frustrating for numerous reasons. One being that like he didn't go to the catbird seat to Dennis. He came over, so I was in a good position, basically like closer. It's not really closer to the on deck circle, but it's closer to like the dirt, like the warning track, I guess. And so like if a guy, they could go two ways. They could go to basically where I was or to where Dennis is. And he was closer to home plate, so he kind of came over by me first. And there was like a kid or two in front of me, but I was the like closest adult to that opening in the fence, in the net. And he came over, and like I'm starting to get ready, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him. Like he's right here, he's signing, and like unless he only signs for kids, like which has happened recently, I'm gonna get him. And it was just weird the way it rolled out, because he got me. I mean, he got the kid in front of me. He got maybe a kid to my right, and then another kid. I think it was JEJ, because he was also there. He kind of hooked his hand under like around the net, and I think he got him next, and then like, and actually I think he handed JJ handed him a card, but no marker, and so then but then Caglione had like a marker in his hand, but then he was like looking around like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't have an uncapped marker in my hand, and so like I was kind of like, here, you can use mine, and then he like ended up getting another one, and then he just like went the other way. He just didn't sign for me, and he went the other way kind of by the net, and some people at this point had like gone kind of closer to behind home plate, behind the netting where there's no opening, and they were just sliding the cards underneath the netting, and I was like, shit, like what, that sucks. But then he was still gonna have to come by me again, and then he came by me again, and he signed like one in front of me, and then he just went in, and I just fucking didn't get him.
That sucks, man. I mean, it seems like maybe he was only trying to sign for kids if he possibly could. Chris got him. Chris kind of said he posted up like behind some kids, and I just Caglione probably just didn't know whose card he was grabbing. So yeah, that was a good get by Chris. That was rough though, man.
Yeah, it sucked. And then I came out of the fray, and then I saw Chris got him, and it was totally like the Bo Bichette situation. Oh,
because Chris got Bichette too, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
so it was like the exact same thing. No rivalry developing between me and Chris, but I was like, damn it, that's the second time that happened where I was like painfully close, didn't get him, Chris got him, and I was just like, I was just left scratching my head, like what happened. So it was rough. So I had to like, and that was it. That was the end of graphing at that point. Not quite, but that was like maybe the last active player who was on the field. I had to just shake it off. I had to we can talk about the next thing, but we went and got food after that. But the whole time I was just kind of just like, I had to like walk it off basically.
Yeah. Well, you were trying to get Caglione. I was behind you for a while, but it was such a mess with everybody trying to get him, like all the kids and stuff, that I was like, okay, maybe I don't know if I have a chance here. And so I saw Eric Thames, Marcus Thames, drifting towards the dugout, and he was going to go down the steps kind of where Dennis was. And I was like, okay, well, everybody's trying to get Caglione over here. I'm going to kind of just sneak over here and see if I can intercept Thames before he goes inside. Dennis, too, funnily enough, I think Dennis knew he wasn't going to get Caglione. So he was trying to pick up the leftovers, like any guys who were coming in through that, any guys who were coming in, he was holding his book out and trying to get them. I don't know if he got anybody. But, so Thames, he comes in the dugout. He's talking to somebody, and I just say, hey, Marcus, can you sign one? And he goes, I'll be right back out. And he walks in the clubhouse, and he had a shit-eating grin on his face when he said it, so I think he knew he wasn't going to come back out. But, so I didn't get Thames either, so, I made that play. I didn't get him, so the end of graphing was not great. He's a guy I would really like. I had a pretty good card for him to sign, so that one feels a little disappointing. I know you got him in spring training, I think, about a year and a half ago or so. But, so anyway, that was just, I struck out on that. But, I'll take three. I'll take 3 autographs.
Yeah, it was, at least it was something. And I'm in retrospect, I'm glad I got Isaac Collins, because that was the only auto that didn't get marred, Yeah,
right.
But yeah, it was, it was rough. I was like, and like, I think you've definitely had your moments, like heartbreak moments. I mean,
sure.
We all have. That one I had to walk it off, because I was just like,
shit. I've had cards end up in the damn sewer, Jeremy. That's how heartbroken I've been. So I've been there,
Yeah, totally. So, and we did. We kind of like walked. We were like, trying to figure out like what we were gonna get for food, and we kind of walked a little bit of the concourse. And I guess I could say it now, but I ended up getting. So I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted. So I ended up, I got a soda at one stand, because I was freaking dying of thirst. So I got a soda, and then we kind of walked a little more, and we were just saying, like, do they have the heater anymore? I feel like the heater hasn't been back. We certainly haven't mentioned it on the podcast, since some point last season. And I feel like as soon as I said that, we walked by a stand, and there was like a little like plastic like stand-up sign with like a computer printer like sign that said like the heater is back or something.
Yeah.
And so yes, I went ahead and I got the heater, and as good as ever. There's some kid who made it, and like he did a good job. I think I threw him a tip too, because he was pretty attentive. So that was cool. It was nice to knock that off. I think I brought it back to we ended up sitting by Chris and his family, and I brought it back, and I think they were asking me about it, and I was like,
The coleslaw looked better than it did the last time I got the heater. It looked like they were using the good stuff again. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think it was like extra kind of chilled or something, so it was a little more kind of like bound or something. But yeah, it was good. It was a good showing for the heater.
It is funny that you mentioned that just like printed out sign that somebody took like one minute on a computer to make, saying the heater is back. That's pretty poor show quality, as you might call it. This is a major league stadium. I think you can do a little bit better than that. But I guess the important thing is that they had it. So yeah, that was cool. Jen Powell was umpiring this game. She was behind home plate, the first female umpire in the history of MLB. So that was cool. We haven't been at a game, I don't think, where she's umpired yet. So that was neat. We both have cards for her. I didn't bring mine that night. Not that it would have mattered. You can't get umpire autographs at guaranteed rate. But yeah, it was cool to see her work home plate and do a game.
Yeah, it was cool. I was a little kind of like wondering if they were like challenging her pitches any more than anyone else, but I after watching like the Sox series, Cubs Sox series over the weekend, it was like nothing compared to like Sunday. I think Edgar Caro challenged like 7 or 8 pitches just by himself. It's I don't know if she's done a game at Wrigley yet. This might have been, I don't know if this was her first game in Chicago, but so yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. Like, hopefully I should actually check to see if she's doing the game tonight.
She's not.
So,
I checked. She's
okay.
not. She's not doing it tonight. Yeah.
Okay. It would make sense for them to stay in Chicago, but no such luck. So
right.
Yeah. One of these days, again, I think we'll definitely be able to at least get a shot to get her. So
yeah, absolutely. So this is, I don't know what to make of this next thing, Jeremy, but I feel like it had to be pointed out. There was a vendor in our section. I don't know what he was selling, maybe beer, whatever, but he was cawing like a bird.
Yeah.
He was going caw, caw. And I didn't understand why he was doing it, but he was doing it really loudly and multiple times.
Yeah, it's funny. You added this note, and like I didn't think about it until like I hadn't thought about it until I saw that note. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that guy. It made no sense. I remember he stopped and took a picture of people too. Like there was a group of people in front of us, and they wanted their picture, and like he took the picture, and then they didn't buy any beer from him. He just like kept moving on. Yeah. And the whole thing was the whole thing was bizarre. I just it almost seemed like he was like not even a real vendor. It's like he just like snuck in. He's like, man, I'm gonna pretend to like be a vendor and just like do weird shit. Successful, mission accomplished. So it was weird for sure.
It was. Another thing, in the section around us, there was this idiot behind us, and he was with his girlfriend, and this guy was in like his early 20s. But this guy was just at the beginning of the game, like every single time a guy would get he would make contact with the ball, this guy would go, come on, catch it, yeah. Not realizing that when a ball is hit in the air and a guy is camping under it, in the major leagues, they're going to catch it. There's nothing to even be said about it. And so every single play was like a celebration for this guy, just because he was an idiot.
It was exhausting. It was just like if a White Sox player popped it out to like that if it was a pop out that went beyond the infield, he was like, oh, come on, go, oh, go. And it's like, oh, no. And like the guy would catch it, like the shortstop would catch it in like shallow, like left center. It was just crazy. And then the White Sox would be in the field, and the guy would ground it to shortstop, and he'd be like, oh, come on, get him. And like, it's like, Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
A White Sox guy got like a Texas leaguer base hit kind of thing, and he's like, "Oh, get a double, or yeah, or he said it too, like when there was like a grounder like in the hole or something. He's like, make it a double, like a double play.
Yep.
Like it was crazy. And then and I should have known better. Like I mean, I'm sure this guy was a bonehead just in general, but like I've said it before on this podcast, when you are at a game and like you're in like the 7th inning and a guy strikes out for the first out of the top of the 7th, and a group of fucking frat boys like gets up and goes like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go, yeah. You know that they made a bet on
Yep.
on DraftKings or something to like, for like over under on strikeouts or something. So
Yep.
there was something that like I don't know what happened. Like, yeah, Drew Romo was like got a hit or got a homer or something. He didn't hit a homer, but or did he hit a homer? I can't
No,
remember.
he didn't.
No,
But
he
this
didn't.
guy needed him to hit a home run.
Yeah, he was like, he's like, okay, if Drew Romo hits a homer, I win automatically, and like $1,000 or something. Like he was talking like a little kid. It was just
Yep.
like the whole thing was just I don't know, man. It was just like, and he was directly behind us too, and I don't know, man. It was a lot.
It was. They say that like DraftKings is bad for like the competition in sports. It's bad for the players because they get like death threats on social media. Bad for the fan experience too, because you got idiots like this doing that. I turned to you at one point and I said I've never wanted a guy to hit a home run less than I do Drew Romo right now, just because of this guy. Yeah, it's hard to sit somewhere for 3 hours as an adult and not say one thing that's intelligent. But this guy managed to do it. So yeah, that was rough. So yeah, screw that guy. It was actually though a pretty good game. Funnily enough, it was the White Sox ultimately won 6-5. They were ahead for most of the game. Sir Anthony Dominguez came in and gave up a 2-run homer to Bobby Witt in the 9th inning, I think with 2 outs, that put the Royals within 1. But then Jack Caglione came in to pinch hit and struck out. So it was actually a very dramatic 9th inning. I think we've seen Witt hit at least now 2 home runs for the podcast, in addition to the Under Armour game. I think we've seen him homer in the majors at least twice. Am I right about that?
No, you're correct. I was
Yeah.
trying to pull that up, like, because I was also like convinced that we had seen him multiple times. I think that was the 3rd home run in major league games, and then 4 including the Under Armour.
It's cool. Okay, so yeah, that's. I was wondering if it had been more than one. So yeah, that dude is sick. Like he's really good. So it's cool to see him do well. You mentioned that this series was a bit of a precursor to the weekend. Sir Anthony Dominguez ended up blowing a game pretty badly on Sunday. I wasn't able to watch much of it, but I saw the box score, and I think he gave up 3 runs when the White Sox had a 3-run lead, which is freaking terrible. So if the White Sox are actually going to contend this year, I'm not sure if they can continue to stick with that guy as their closer, although I'm sure they probably gave him a guaranteed deal with money, so I don't know that they're going to be willing to cut him. But it'll be interesting to see how they handle the closer role if he falters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he gave up a huge game-tying homer to Conforto yesterday. It was pretty crazy. And I think honestly, having coming off the Witt homer, I was like, oh well, Conforto can get this guy too. Like,
right?
He's gettable. Yeah, I mean, like it's weird because Dominguez he's like not great, but it was almost like the Bregman signing it a little bit. Like it was a gesture. Like the Bregman signing isn't really a gesture, but it was something like a gesture for the White Sox to get this guy to sign him. It was right after they traded Luis Robert, which is kind of weird that that's what they decided to put the money towards. But it was more of a like signifier. But like I'm like, yeah, in reality, he probably shouldn't be a major league closer. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're gonna do. It kind of sucks because I really like Grant Taylor, and I feel like Grant Taylor should be their closer. But it's they just won't let him do it as long as Dominguez is on the roster. So
No. Well, anyway, we did see a good game. We got a few autographs, and it's always good to make it out to guaranteed rate field for a game and sit in better seats than we paid for. This week,
right.
This coming week, the Brewers are actually in town, so we are going to see one of those games, and then after that, we're actually going to go see the Cubs Astros as well over the weekend. So we're going to have a couple more games to report on over the next couple of weeks here, and hopefully it's a good time and we get some autographs.
Yeah, most definitely. I will be out of town, but we won't skip a beat with the episodes. So that'll be cool, and we'll have games for each of these next coming episodes to drop. So that'll be good. The Brewers, it looks like they're gonna win this one. I would say at this point. But the one as Monday night as of recording, tomorrow night will be interesting. It's supposed to be Mizorowski versus Ben Brown. So
nice.
We kind of lucked out with the pitching matchups.
We get to see the Miz. We saw him last year. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So it should be good series. I hope as a Cubs fan, if the Brewers maul the Cubs in this series, I hope at least they make up for it with signing. So
I thought you were going to say I hope at least the Cardinals lose, which you probably hope as well. Let's hope we can at least get some autographs if the Brewers win.
Yeah, most definitely. So I guess that'll do it for this episode. Kind of a shorter one this time, but we got some exciting stuff coming up. So for this episode of Rain Delay Theater, I'm Jeremy Dionisio.
And I'm Jack Swakowski.
We'll talk to you next time.
Later.